Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Naga and Charlie State.
Not what we hoped for. England remain on course to qualify, but manager Gareth Southgate is left to reflect on a performance which raises questions over England's chances at the Euros.
Hoping for big sandcastles, and how businesses here are hoping the sun.
Well, the sunshine's certainly out here at Stonehenge this morning. Thousands still celebrating the first sunrise following the solstice.
Was Freddie Mercury, We Will Rock You, Brian May, Another White's the Dust by Deacon, and then Radio Gaga by Taylor, who's the drummer, of course. So it's complicated, apparently, the legal negotiations as to who gets what.
Oh, what? So if you're listed as the main writer, you get the
I
money?
guess you get the greater spoils, I suppose, is the way it works. But yeah,
is the time now? The United Nations is warning that more than 1 million people in Gaza are facing catastrophic levels of starvation. And our thanks, of course, to Lindsay for letting us into her home, making sure that actually Rob's legacy will live on, but also all the work Lindsay, Rob, all their friends and family have done for the MND community.
And sharing the smiles, you know, and letting us into their relationship, the banter, the things she talks about there is very lovely. 6:37, Mike's here. So,
good morning.
Last night, what happened?
Well, I was surrounded by England fans, and at the end, they were just so deflated and frustrated. But you have to remember, England are still top of the group. They should still qualify for the knockout phase. But it seemed to be the same criticisms, same questions about tactics and how you can have all these brilliant players. Harry Kane, Bundesliga top scorer, Phil Foden, Premier League Player of the Year, Jude Bellingham, Champions League winner. And yet, as a team, they don't quite fit. They don't quite fire on all cylinders. It's like having a top performance sports car, but you don't quite know how to drive it to get the most out of it.
Maybe that picture there sort of rather reflects the England fans. You know, what's going on? What's occurring?
Didn't lose. Can we just make clear? Didn't lose.
Yes.
Did score a goal.
Harry Kane
did score.
John Watson in Frankfurt, because let's bring John in Frankfurt for us. Hi there, John, in the square in Frankfurt, of course empty at this time of day.
Morning, guys.
I can guess the feeling amongst fans, in England fans, is the same there as it is in England at home for England fans. But they have been in this situation before, we have to remember. In fact, it's very similar to after the second game of the last World Cup and the last Euros.
It is indeed, yes. And I think Gareth Southgate, reflecting the mood of those fans, he said it's not what we hoped for. On the face of it, of course, it still looks good for England. 4 points, they should qualify, but they went into that match against Denmark last night looking for that victory, which would have secured automatic qualification. And because it was so passive, it was lethargic, a lot of energy went out of the game, it does leave real question marks over England's chances of winning this European Championship based solely on that performance. And the issue that England have is they're now trying to rectify that. Gareth Southgate has to change that, and he has to do it right in the middle of a tournament, which brings with it some real challenges, and that's the issue that Gareth Southgate is going to face now. Not only the pressure that he's getting from the fans after the performance last night, but also the fact that he has to try and rectify it now, and he doesn't have particularly long to do that, does he, heading into the final game of the group. As Andy Swiss now reports.
We weren't taking risks, it's not a very good game.
Just boring. The manager. We've got the players there.
We have in the whole tournament, and we're not using them well.
There's just that tiny bit, just not quite there. That's unfortunate.
Won't have made easy listening for England's players. A draw against Slovenia on Tuesday will guarantee them a place in the knockout stage, but after this performance, they know they'll have to improve, and fast. Andy Swiss, BBC News, Frankfurt.
So, as the dust settles here in Frankfurt this morning, how are the fans waking up here feeling at this moment in time? Well, Bella, Charlie and Ronnie join us here this morning.
We're amazing. We went 1-0 up and then we just seemed to lost our flat. It just went flat.
On tickets, on flights, do you think that is partly where the fans' frustration comes from? They've invested a lot to be here and they would like to see a slightly better display.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can see the effort in the players' faces, but it's just not clicking as a team. And I think we're just trying to find that, and whether it's the confidence thing or whether Southgate is the right man to do the job, I don't know whether he's getting the team gelling, but I think as the tournament progresses, we'll improve, we hope.
Okay. Charlie, Bella, Ronnie, loving the tactical wisdom there. Thanks very much, guys, for joining us this morning. And I guess we should just explain that England have been in this position before at the last European Championship. They made it to the final. And, of course, they won their opening group game. They drew with Scotland in their second, just as they've drawn here against Denmark, and then went on to win their final group game 1-0. So history could well repeat itself. So hopefully we're still bringing a little bit of positivity this morning, trying to lift the mood, despite what was overall a pretty flat display in the end from England. Back to you, Mike.
Doing well, John. A sense of déjà vu for England fans, but we loved the analysis there, especially from Bella from Berry. Thanks, John. We'll see you again later.
By Tuesday, 25 degrees, maybe around 27 or 28 towards the southeast of England. So that is how the weather is looking from a glorious scene here in Stonehenge. It's back to you both in Salford.
Doesn't it look lovely? Matt, thank you very much.
This morning, come on, you're talking about the economy now and how the sunshine helps.
Oh, we'll come on to that in a bit, Naga. We'll come on to that in a bit. I mean, I'm hoping for big sandcastles, but the business is here, as you say. I've come to Scarborough because, I mean, just looks across the bay in the early morning sunshine. Isn't that just stunning? And this is Britain's first and oldest seaside resort.
Part of this morning. So let's take a look at the forecast, shall we, for today. Rain and temperatures will climb further again on Sunday and certainly into the start of next week too. I'm off to see if I can find some more dancing, and I'll leave you to it back in Salford.
Dancing, did you say?
Oh, there's a bit of everything here, Naga.
Send a video. Look forward to it.
OK.
What was it like?
You know, it was really, really special. I've seen many, many sunrises, of course, through my job, but to have 15,000 people all with you celebrating that moment the sun comes up, and every sunrise is special, but this one was just extra special. And of course the location helps. We are at Stonehenge this morning. Very good morning to you. With me, just to talk us through a little bit of it, is Kate Logan. She's the Historic Properties Director here at English Heritage.
By the looks of it, it is about to finally begin, and that really matters to towns and cities, our seaside resorts like this one.
Now, what a scene that is. You understand, don't you, why people come from all over the world just to have that moment in that place. Matt was there in amongst them and, of course, telling us all about the weather.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, it was an evening and morning of celebration and spirituality here at Stonehenge. Summer solstice last night, of course. First sunrise of the summer this morning.
You see the people in the foreground there, about 15,000 people gathered there this morning. Druids, pagans, all people sleeping overnight there as well. What a magnificent sight that is. The way it works is the stone circle, the light channels into the middle of the monument. And Matt was there this morning, and he described the scene. He said he's seen many of these occasions. He said something very, very special.
He did. He's also been keeping us up to date from one of the most beautiful places this morning to be on summer solstice, with the weather.
Thank you. Good morning. A beautiful start here at Stonehenge this morning. It's been
a team on paper is very different to a team that actually plays, but going into like last night, but as Matt touched on there, it's tournament football. The bigger picture is we're still top of the group. We're going to qualify.
There is a bit of positivity.
We are really enjoying
There is a bit of positivity still there, and great effort cycling all the way out here, which you did, Tony, on a £100 bike. So that's pretty impressive going.